Hey guys, I'm Addy and I'm back at it again with another video, and today I'll be talking about some of the pros and cons of the Unity game engine. Now before we start, I would like to say a disclaimer, which is that I am a complete beginner and I have not tried out any other game engines other than Unity. So if I compare any other game engine such as Unreal Engine, please do know that this is from just watching YouTube videos of other people just using it, and also watching some of the reviews that Unreal Engine gets. And everything that I talk about Unity is based on my experience and my experience alone. So now let's get started. From my experience, I can confidently say that Unity is easy to use and super beginner friendly. And I know that people say because it doesn't have visual scripting and you have to stare at words and type words, that it's really hard to use if you don't know any coding at all. But I must tell you that at the beginning of my game dev journey, I didn't know how to code at all. Like, sure, I knew some if and or statements, but other than that, I did not know how to code in Unity. And the thing was, this was only 5 or 6 months ago. I learned on my own, and I must tell you that it might be overwhelming at first, but it does get easier as you go along. And you get used to what you're typing as well. There's also no shame whatsoever on just going online and researching and then copying people's code line for line. Unity has now also added a new free visual scripting software in the latest version of their editor, for those of you who don't want to stare at words. And now I also believe that this is a third-party software that Unity has just made free for their developers to use. Unity, in my experience, has a great number of tools to help developers out in making their games. From what I have learned, Unreal Engine has more tools to help developers create their games, but they sometimes won't fit perfectly in the game that you're making. And therefore you will need to create it by scratch. But in Unity, if the tool that you want isn't there, it's easier to create from scratch because Unity is basically a blank slate, in my opinion. You want something, you make it, or you download it from the asset store. Wink, wink. Coming to the asset store, Unity has a gigantic fan base and you can easily get tutorials or materials for Unity. Now, from what I've heard, Unreal currently has a smaller fan base, and therefore it doesn't have as many tutorials from other people that can help customize the Unreal Engine for your use. Unreal is also only used for making 3D games, which in my opinion are harder to make than 2D games. Unity, on the other hand, is also meant for 2D games as well as 3D games. Unity actually has a great graphic system that can easily rival Unreal Engines, but it's just that I suck at making virtual art. Now moving on to the cons, sometimes Unity's features aren't always clear on which version you need to use. I was using ShaderGraph for one of my previous projects just to test out some things, but ShaderGraph, after I downloaded it, it just broke everything. So this is the project that I downloaded ShaderGraph on, and as you can see, it's completely broken. I can still move around the scene. It's supposed to be 3D, and it's completely broken. I can't do anything. This is a cube. Yeah. And that was because I actually needed to use the fixed version and not the verified version. So therefore, I think that some things just aren't clearly labeled in Unity. And it's also really hard to make a good looking 3D game on Unity, and that's because you either need extensive knowledge on making 3D virtual art, or you need a whole team of developers to actually make a good looking scene environment in a short amount of time. Unity also heavily relies on their community to make functions for their engine. Though this problem is being addressed and Unity is making their own stuff, and a lot of it, this problem is still there. Well, this is my current opinion on the Unity game engine, and if you are starting out on your game dev journey, I really hope this helps you. And well, that's it for today, guys. I hope you liked this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you later.
you.